Good evening. Before going to the Thursday's prediction, I would like to review Wednesday's closing. And as expected, market has opened in the negative side around 0.49 in the S2 RS2, and it went down below somewhere around support level 3, almost 74 points down from the yesterday's closing, which is almost close to the second support level 3, 0.84. And after that, as we expected, market as came up and traded somewhere around 0.11% in the positive side. That is what we initially expected, because of the average entire average given 0.11. So as expected, it was recovered, but it was not finished in the expectation, but still it has given some beautiful numbers. I would like to show you that we spoke about the R2, that is the level which it may end up around 0.43, but today it was not closed there. But if we take that 0.43 and we spoke about the new frequency 0.62, if we subtract that, we got somewhere around negative side 0.19. That is where the market ended up with close to that level. That is weird, because every day it has been closing with some kind of a combinations, and more surprisingly, if we take that average of the positive, which given 1.01%. If you go through my previous video, I have explained about the average positive, which given 1.01%. If we take that percentage, and if we take our support level 3, 0.84, if we subtract that also, we got some 0.17% in the negative side, which is weird. It is kind of a combinations, that the positive as well as negative, which gives almost equally poised. That is what I'm trying to point out. The positive side, it is showing somewhere 0.17% in the positive if we take the average of 1.01, and if we take that negative side and 0.62% minus 0.43, it gives us somewhere around 0.19%. That is where the market has ended up with. And we will move towards tomorrow's prediction, which is Thursday prediction. And you can visibly see that the most of the frequencies are indicating positives, and we have only one support level 1.13. All the remaining frequencies are in the positive, and we have absolute frequency in the R1 0.31%. That is what tomorrow market is going to open somewhere around that level, and after that how far it is going to reach, that still remains question, but we are still expecting somewhere around to close in the R1 range around 0.31. It may be 10 to 20 points here and there, it may be finish it, but still the most weightage we have got in the positive side 5.04, so that it is clearly showing market will trade in the positive side. Tomorrow is the F&O closing, so we may expect a small kind of a correction in between. It may be in the earlier morning, or maybe it may be somewhere around 2:30. So it may be in the end of the market closing, so that we can't predict at this point of time. But and one thing I would like to point out, this data which I took earlier to send my paid customers, so that in this data one particular data is missing, that is recently added to it. That particular frequency is 1.75. I will show you that. But that is not going to impact that much, but it is going to support the positive, because that 1.75, there is no any frequency is matching, absolute frequency is not matching there, but it is going to support our thing. I'll explain the other possibilities of the market tomorrow. the average of it now, if you take the entire average of it, it gives 1.48% in the positive side. Entire average, if you take somewhere around 1.48, and if you take only the positive side, it gives 1.86% in the positive side, which is matching with the added data of 1.75. So we may expect somewhere to close, even if it is not, even if it is somewhere around 1% of the positive, it may not be a surprise at all for me, but we may expect a decent positive tomorrow. But the positive, how far it will go, that still remains question because of the F&O closing. And the negative side, you can clearly see one negative is there. So and we need to keep that negative in mind as well, 1.13, because we talk about new frequency for the last 4, 5, 6 days, and this is the inverse new frequency. Normally the new frequency will came as it is, but it is a typical kind of a new frequency, but in the inverse manner. So how far, how it is going to affect, I am not sure. After, because of that inverse new frequency, the market may come down towards to some extent after reaching some high because of the F&O closing. So those kind of things may drag down the market, and we need to keep this 1.13 in mind, and having a safe stop loss in the flat negative somewhere, and trade and then trading means it will be helpful. If something goes wrong and market is losing its positive and unexpectedly goes down towards negative, means we may avoid some kind of a huge losses if you have some kind of stop loss in the flat negative. And one more thing I would like to point out, this is a different kind of thing, and the SGX Nifty is on this point I would like to, the SGX Nifty is also showing 35.50 points in the positive side, which means 0.03, and which is matching to our absolute frequency. So which is matching our absolute frequency R1. So it is clearly showing market is going to open in the positive side tomorrow. And one more thing I want to point out, that I have a different kind of a calculation for the people who have lost it so much of money in the market. They can follow with this kind of a trading idea and utilize it to get some profits. I would like to show you that today I have made small profit. With this idea I would like to help them to apply this thing. Today I have invested 26 rupees in the Nifty, which is in the money value it comes somewhere around 1950, so which means almost close 2000 rupees, but the profit it given somewhere around 1300. So like this, how we can recover our money if you have lost somewhere 2 to 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs in the market. How we can recover the money from this kind of a small investment, I'll explain you how. This is the 15 days target planning, and you need to keep in mind that after seeing my video, whenever the market is showing somewhere upside 1% or downside 1%, those days only you have to apply your money, apply this formula into it. Otherwise you need not to do anything. You need to wait for the right time to come, unless until if you have 100% confident on it, then only you have to buy the options. I'll show you how it is going to work. Your investment should be somewhere around 2000 rupees. Why? Because that is the money which you can able to recover from the market. You need to invest very small amount of money and from there you need to make some big profit. For example, this is the chart. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm starting my investment with 2000 rupees, and my percentage profit is per day 100%. But what it shows, in option market you can able to double your money in a day itself. But the point behind this is not you must have to double the money in a day, but you can do by 20% or 30%, whatever the profit comes. The core idea behind this, you need not to lose money, you have to book minimum amount of profit and add on it. For example, today I had invested somewhere around 2000 rupees, I got profit around 1300. That is what I updated it. The next is, what is the remaining portion I need to cover on the next day, or maybe it may took 2 to 3 days or 4 days, something like that. 600 and 760 is I have to recover for the day has to close 100% profit. If I get this, that means I'm going to close that one day. Remaining days would be 14 days. If I'm doing that quite an every day I'm finishing this particular target, it may took a day to close, it may took 6 days, or maybe it may took some 1 month, or like that. That is not going to affect. But the point behind this, you can take a number of days, but you need to close each and every day. That is the point. If you closing the day, you're automatically eligible for the profits. That is what the behind is. I would like to update every day after the market closing. If I'm participating in this, or not participating also, I will update it. And this is the different kind of step I would like to update. So once you completing some 10 numbers 10 days consecutively, means you're going to end up in the range of 10 lakhs. See, once you completing 6 days, means you are going to end up in 64,000 rupees profit. So that is what the indication, that chart is telling. So the minimum investment is 2000. With that, we are going to apply in my formula. Once the formula is clearly showing some decent positive or decent negative, somewhere around 1%, that those days only we are going to invest. Otherwise we are going to keep idle, and we are going to take rest. If we are doing like that, means we may get this 15 days success ratio. We are going to end with a good huge profits. Let's see how it is going to work. And going back to the market, tomorrow, Thursday, market is going to open in the positive side, somewhere around 30 to 35 40 points in the higher side, and it is going to travel on the positive side for quite some time, and small correction may be there some because of the F&O closing, and I am still expecting a positive finish. Thank you.